Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is celebrating the new year. The old one is gone, and we will have better fortune this year. And that has been said every year for the last 3 years. Enough already. Bring on the Armageddon. Now, Peanut said that, but you know what? I'm with him. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. I don't know what time it is in the UK. But yes, Caroline, if it is not, look at date. Really? It's the 3rd? January 3rd, 2023. First show of the year. Then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this movie quote, which Karen may or may not put the graphic up on screen. We'll see. Hope. It is the quintessential human delusion, simultaneously the source of your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. Who said that? The Architect. One of my favorite characters from, even though he was a bit long-winded, from The Matrix. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she is one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. It's Karen B. What's happening, Karen?
Oh, not a whole lot, Mark.
No?
Brand new year.
Yeah. 23. I think we're officially in the future now. 2023 sounds like you're far enough into the 20s. It's like, okay, well, we're here now.
Yeah, we're like in the Jetson age now.
We are. George Jetson was officially
We're in the
born
Jetson age where Marty came to the future already. We already passed that, so we're definitely in the future.
Yeah. What do we get for it? We got smartphones. That's something. I mean, these little devices, super handy. The Swiss Army of electronics. I got a radio controlled vacuum cleaner and 500 channels of television, which also was done in Back to the Future. It's like, all right. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. I wonder, does Dave still listen to this? Or can we just make fun of him? Let's do it.
He still listens, and we can make fun of him.
Oh, good. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal, level plane?
Why, yes. That would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
You know what? We should get a sound bite where he finishes the rest. It's like, yes, it's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Go to daveweiss.com. No, I think it's flattearthdave.com. Flattearthdave.com. He's probably yelling, throwing popcorn everywhere. It's Flat Earth Dave. I only say it every freaking interview. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. And I'm not poking fun. He is the hardest working man in Flat Earth right now. Although Peter Jarvio, I think, probably gives him physically a run for his money because he's on campuses 8 hours a day, just getting hammered by students. Anyway, shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to thestrong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Also, a quick shout out to my favorite Flat Earth sports guy, Novak Djokovic. He is back in Australia at the Open down there. I think it's the Adelaide Open. Peanut, help me out. There's the Adelaide Open. Yeah, whatever it's called down there. That's one of the first, but he's back totally legal, no problem. Standing ovation when he walked on the court. Why? Because people love a winner. Yeah, he's a Flat Earth winner.
That's right.
All he had to do was stand his ground, and he ended up being the best player of the year. 1 second. Oh crap! You know what? My fault. 1 second. I gotta pull up the meetups. There's a meetup in Oklahoma, and if I'm not mistaken, Peanut Gallery, are you attending this meetup in Oklahoma? Yes, Peanut Gallery will be attending this meetup in Oklahoma. It is going to be on the 14th of January from 6 to 9 p.m. at Charleston's Restaurant. That's 3409 South Broadway, number 400 in Edmond, Oklahoma. And Peanut Gallery will be there. Location is 15 minutes north of downtown Oklahoma City by car. RSVP by calling Jesse at 857-344-6209, or you can email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com, and he will bring a Nikon P1000 with him to make you feel small and that you're not spending enough money on Flat Earth stuff. What else? Oh, yeah, sorry. I can't forget this. There was a meetup that happened in England, over in the UK, in Swanage, of all places. And they sent me a t-shirt. Hopefully I can show it here on screen. It is from the Flat Earth Social Club in Swanage, England. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. What's it say on there?
Meet others on the same level.
Yes, meet others on the same level. Flat Earth Social Club, and I got a Christmas card from Ian, and he's done music for some of our Flat Earth stuff in the past. Before there was Flat Earth Man, there was Ian Leahy.
Yeah. Oh, Ian, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Yeah. Anyway, got a Christmas card from there. It is, Ian. So there's verification. Your package actually made it here. Okay. Well, we're going to bring on for the first part of the show, because the elephant in the room in the media headlines right now has been the NFL player that went down in the Monday Night Football game 24 hours ago. So we're going to bring on Master Gunner Brian Burton, because he is a football fan. And he actually was bringing up some of the nuances to me, which I hadn't really thought about, and he got me going. And so now I'm all jacked up on this, because there are a bunch of different narratives that are going to be pushed forward, because this is the worst case scenario for the world order and part of their plan anyway. So, Master Gunner, are you with us?
Yes. I pulled myself away from my foosball.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So we've got some headlines. So in case you guys have been living in a cave for the last 24 hours, and some of you might have been, and I know a lot of people that listen to the show do not watch NFL football. I haven't watched it in years, to be honest. I haven't watched it since the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. It's like, well, I've seen it all, therefore I'm not going to watch it anymore. So, but last night, let's pull up the first headline from NBC News. I'm going to tell you what the mainstream has been covering here. So, last night, Buffalo Bills Damar Hamlin heart was most likely, their headline is, was most likely healthy before collapse. The right hit at the wrong time may have triggered a rare phenomenon known as commotio cordis, heart experts suggest. Right. So what happened? I know this is great. Remember, this is NBC News. So what happened last night was, during the first quarter, 7-3, I think the Bills were the Bills up or down 7-3? Do you remember?
I believe the Bills were up.
Bills were up 7-3 in the first quarter. Routine short yardage play, linebacker, who was Damar Hamlin, hits the runner. I can't remember if it was receiver or running back or whatever. Just nothing tackle, absolutely nothing tackle, right? It was the most pedestrian garden variety tackle I've ever seen. No high impact where the receivers running across the linebackers. There was no high impact in here at all. Both of them go down. Yeah, fine. Linebacker pops up. He made a good play. Stopped him with short yardage situation. Seemed good for a couple seconds. And then his eyes got all funny. And then he just went straight on his back and his heart stopped. The end. Good night, everybody. That was it. That was it. And when he went down, all the players knew it. They knew something was really, really wrong. And they went out there and they started CPR on him almost immediately. And if I'm not mistaken, Brian, they were working on him for 9 minutes?
9 minutes CPR.
Yeah. 9 minutes of CPR. If you guys know anything about CPR, that's a really long time. That's a horrible sign. If they're working on you for that long, that's really, really bad. To where the point where they eventually brought out the ambulance, and he wasn't carted off the field. This was different than how many times have we seen this every freaking season? In fact, it seems like every other week, somebody gets a knee injury, somebody gets a shoulder injury. It's like, I can't walk off the field on my own power, and they put him on a golf cart, or they put him on a stretcher, and he waves to the crowd as no. They put him in an ambulance, and he left, and it was so jarring to the players that were there that the NFL wanted them to continue. I don't care what the narrative says by the NFL. They absolutely said, "Oh no, you guys keep playing," right? And the players went to the coaches and said, "Yeah, we can't keep playing. This is horrible." And the coaches went to the refs. It's like, "Yeah, we're not coming back out there." And they said, "Okay, the game is now postponed." And for the first time, I think ever in NFL history, you got to remember, the machine does not stop. They don't, people get carted off the field. People die in the stands for they have the game does not stop. The revenue machine and the American football machine does not stop. The game was not only postponed, but now, as of tonight, just before the show, the rumor is this game isn't going to happen. This game is going to officially be canceled, which from what I understand hasn't happened since World War II. So before there even was a modern football era, it's not even going to happen. So, anyway, so the narrative. So you guys all know I'm going to try to be delicate here because I don't want to get Karen in trouble with her channel. But if you listen to this show long enough, you know full well why he just dropped for no reason and stopped breathing and had a major heart attack. You know this. We're not going to say the word. We will dance around it a bit, but you know this. We have seen, I mean, come on, we've been watching for the last year. How many soccer players? And by the way, this is where it gets different. How many soccer players have we watched go down?
Oh, so many. Last year, it was so many.
And so this was almost identical. The only difference was it was on an American stage. I'm not trying to be insensitive to the European, to the world soccer community. But come on, you could have 300, 500 of those guys go down, and Americans would be like, yeah, whatever. But when somebody goes down on Monday Night Football with multiple camera angles and nothing, everyone goes, I wasn't a head-on collision. What the hell happened?
Also,
yeah,
you got the problem of, let's just give a quick thing. This is a 24-year-old kid.
Yep, 24 years old. Only been in the league a year.
He's been playing football for a long time, so he's had physicals year after year after year, which is why they can't say he had an underlying condition or prior, because they cleared him.
Yeah, before you go into the NFL, just so you guys know, before the combine, you are put through a physical, which is probably the most invasive of all, which is they check you for every condition known because they're investing a ton of money into you. You're no different than a horse. And it's a big meat market. It's like they need to know exactly if there's anything possible that could come down, even a glimmer of it. It's like, oh, so in 10 years you might have this sort of condition. Okay, that's going to factor in. So this guy was absolutely at the prime, the prime of his game.
Yeah, he was in his 20s. He was like just starting his career, right?
Yeah. Basically. Oh, yeah. In the NFL. Yeah, absolutely. He'd only signed last year. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now it's 23. So he signed in 21. And now we're in 23. So 18 months, give or take. Right. So as of this morning, and I sent you, Karen, I think I also sent Master Gunner the link from that doctor that came out where that first paragraph was, it's like, well, it's obvious it had nothing to do with, the shot. Right. And it's like, why would that be your opening line? Why would you still start with that? It's like, one, you have nothing to do with this player at all. You have nothing to do with the league. Yeah, you do sports medicine. You don't know the toxicology report. You don't know anything. But your opening line is, well, it's obvious it's not. If you, like Karen says many a time, if you have to, do a thing about it, if you have to write articles about it and make a video about it saying it's not that, it's probably that.
Well, plus, not just that, too. Think of all of the articles I sent you this morning. We were talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. They are trying to put a united front on this. And now we'll get into the some of the headlines. So this first one, so the doctor, the heart expert suggests, right? Everyone's just parroting that one guy this morning, which is, he says that this heart expert, he says basically, and I think if you scroll down, I wonder if he's in there. 1 second. I do not see him. He's probably one of the other articles, but that's fine. So he basically said, if you get hit in your heart with hard enough object or force, like a blunt force trauma, at the right time, as Brian would like to say, at the exact right moment, your heart can stop. And you might die. It's like, okay, that's fine, but you're talking about something that that's usually happens, and we'll talk about, we'll get into the later stuff. Usually happens with other sports and much younger people with underdeveloped, physiques. Definitely not someone who's wearing full blown body armor, with the exception of the quarterbacks who wear flak jackets to protect their ribs from the monsters that are linemen now. This guy, had shoulder pads, and the shoulder pads come down far enough that they protect a lot of the pectoral area. No question. So anyway, the NBC News thing, let me read this real fast. So, just a part of it. Witnessed in real time by millions of viewers on Monday Night Football, absolutely the worst game you could let this happen, was immediately recognized by heart experts who also happened to be watching the game. One of them said, "I knew exactly what was going on." Again, they were saying it wasn't a concussion; it absolutely was a heart attack. And then they were saying again. He was 24. He tackled a Bengals receiver, collided. Again, they're pushing it, collided with his chest, like making it seem like there was this huge impact. It's like, no. And no one would believe that anyway, because it was all on replay. It was the play. It was covered by tons of different angles. In such cases, there's nothing wrong with the heart, says the director of cardiac arrhythmia program at Vanderbilt, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh no, basically they're trying to push the narrative that this could just happen out of nowhere. So let's move on to the next article. This will help clarify things a bit. This next one's, I believe, is from CBS News. And this one, CBS, Damar Hamlin remains in the ICU. Here's what we know about the player's condition. What happens with 6 minutes to go in the game's first quarter? Oh, the receiver, in case you want to know who it was T. Higgins. Not actually a huge guy or anything. And it's like, oh, he hit Hamlin in the chest with his helmet during a play. Nope. If you watch it, it's like it looked like any other tackle that's ever been happened. So let's see here. He stood up right afterwards. A few seconds later, collapsed. Was given hit. They got hit him with a defibrillator. Was put on a stretcher, put in an ambulance, given oxygen, taken to the hospital. And from what I understand, he is on a ventilator right now, and he is on his stomach. Moving on to the next headline.
Induced.
The what?
And coma induced.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He's in a coma. He's in a medical coma. That's a really, really bad sign. In fact, I'm wondering, and we'll go into this a little bit, which is, I'm wondering if if he wakes up, and I'm not trying to be morbid here when I say this, will there be more questions than answers? Meaning, because let's say when he wakes up, there'll be so many. It's like, okay, what happened? Did you feel any? Because he's gonna have to support the narrative that's being told about him already. Did you feel this huge impact in your chest? Or like, no, he popped up. The receiver was still on the ground. It's like he hit the receiver, did a great job, popped up. It's like, yep, I'm doing fine, not so fine, and then falls over. What's the third headline? Third headline, I believe, is ABC News. ABC News spinning it a slightly different direction, which is they're bypassing what happened. They're really going into Damar Hamlin's collapse highlights the importance of bystanders learning CPR. The narrative is, this could happen anytime, so you should know CPR just in case. It's like, why are you writing this article? There's no bystander. This has nothing. This is absolutely not true. This article. It's like half the stadium could know CPR. They're not rushing out to the field.
Yeah, but you could be walking down the street and suddenly somebody could run into you with a helmet. You need someone to give you CPR because
you could be at a hot dog stand and somebody next to you could just be reading a magazine and for whatever reason just drop. Whatever. Oh,
no, you got to get hit in this case. Remember, this could happen to anybody.
Right. Next one down. Let's go to that one really fast, which is this from the BBC. I like this one, which is Damar Hamlin. Why do some athletes suffer cardiac arrest? All right. If you guys don't know already, England and Europe, they've already had people go, and they've all been soccer players, or what they call football. The original football. Whatever. They called it football before we called it football because they used their feet.
They have more of a right to use football than we do.
Yes, they do. But if we're America,
wars.
We're America, so screw you. It's our name. Everybody else, they're soccer. We're football. So they're trying to rationalize this. They're trying to justify. Again, nobody is pointing at the obvious elephant in the room, which is what do all these people have in common? And if you're wondering, it's like, well, did he have the shot? Yeah, he had the shot. Because if he didn't have the shot, you'd open with that. That would save your narrative. Which is like, well, it's obvious it's not shot related because he didn't get the shot. No, the NFL totally got the shots, which is why, by the way, and I don't mind saying this, which is one of the reasons why the players didn't continue with the game. This is a fear that's been in not just the NFL, but other sports venues, the NBA especially, which is these guys are all been waiting for something like this. And now it's finally happened. And now they're like, oh my God, you mean, seriously, if you had that in the back of your head, it's like, yeah, you've heard the thing. It's like you elevated heart rate could cause this. And then all of a sudden one of your guys goes down. You're like, really? You're going to go back into the game? Really? It's too, the term, the shit just got real. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, England's trying to rationalize this and trying to, come up with a any medical scenario that'll justify it without saying what we're all thinking. Then last but not least, and then we'll talk about this just a little bit more, which is Russia today, which was just matter of fact. NFL player critical after on-field cardiac arrest. That's it. That's basically they just said, this is what happened. But they said following a hit. So, but again, anyone that watches the replay, and the replay's been out there a whole bunch of times, it had nothing to do with the hit at all. It was a pedestrian hit. So before we get into the other stuff, and we'll do clown worlds probably after the break. Brian, do you have any doubt that the NFL actually tried to move forward with continuing the game?
No, I'm sure they did, because that's money.
Yeah.
Let's face it, it's money. Huge money.
Huge money. It's Monday Night Football money.
So the problem I had with all the stories, first of all, this happened because I was watching TV and then nothing, because there's no news. So all of a sudden this took over all the news for hours.
Right.
Hours.
Yeah, because there's nothing else to cover.
Yeah, I think it took over longer than any mass shooting I've seen. But that's fine.
Right.
But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that sucks. We'll see what happens. Because I'm the type of, I'm not going to say it's anything. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see what happens. But then all the stories came out. It's not the vaccine. It's not the boosters. It's not this. It's not that. It must have been this.
Right.
From people that didn't get to see him or anything else, they were going off whatever the press has released, which is almost nothing.
Right.
So it seems like someone kicked in their plan of, oh shit, we got to start. Because, I mean, let's face it. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure there were some people out there saying that it might have been the vax, right?
Right.
But nobody in mainstream or anything else that they would need to really address it in mainstream yet they instantly went to that.
Right. Right.
One protest, he's a little too much.
He doth protest too much, said Shakespeare. Absolutely. And you didn't, or as Karen said, if you have to make a video about it, ahead of time they were basically trying to get ahead of it. And they were doing a terrible job because all they were doing was generating more interest in it. Yeah. Which is, if you're open with, well, it's not the shot. It's not the shot. It has nothing to do with the shot. Only the trolls are spreading, and there's articles, as you know, they're saying that trolls are spreading that the shot had something to do with this. And it's like, well, he was 24 in the prime of physical shape. And and from my understanding, his Twitter account has been scrubbed. It is gone. Yeah. And
what trolls that really, I mean,
right.
We got our community and all that. I mean, whatever. I will recommend that anybody gets a chance, they need to watch that little Tucker Carlson segment that he did tonight.
Yeah. It was actually good.
It was really good. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The reason why this is a big deal is this is the scenario which they were hoping they could avoid for as long as possible. Even though it wasn't a major quarterback or a major spokesperson, it was on Monday Night Football, which is the worst time you could possibly, and the playoffs, just before it's going to happen. And from what I understand, this game is not going to be replayed. This game is going to be completely just wiped from the books. It never happened. And which is so weird. that's right. Like,
so to clarify, I'm not saying it was a vax or anything else like that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, why are we canceling the games completely? Why are we in a media blackout?
Right.
I mean, I remember when Theismann leg went into 4 different joints.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
I was in DC at the time and I got to see that over and over and over for a freaking week.
Right.
But there was no blackout on the media or anything else.
Yeah. This is different. I mean, people
Something's different. That's the issue.
Yeah.
They made it slip by making it different.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it was this 1 in a billion chance of getting hit and it stopped.
Yeah.
Why the blackouts and everything else?
Yeah. Well,
That's
yeah.
all
In
I'm
fact,
asking.
when we come back from break, we will talk about the narrative, the lightning narrative, just for a little bit, and then we'll do clown worlds, and then we'll probably take some phone calls. So hang around, Brian. And
Okay.
Karen, what about that great outro music you got?
Oh, sure.
Thanks for the t-shirt, Ian. I wonder if he's still.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app on YouTube. Or
Join me, Karen B, every moon day in the early light, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early light chit chat. Open phones, open topics, always chill. I hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. And Master Gunner, Brian Burton, U.S. Army, retired.
Yay.
So we're finishing up our discussion on the Buffalo Bills linebacker who went down last night during a Monday Night Football game. and never returned. And in an unprecedented move, the NFL, for some strange reason, even though they cart people off the field all the time, seriously, all the freaking time. I've lost count of how many different players have been carted off the field.
Yeah.
This one was taken off in an ambulance, and they canceled they postponed the game, and it's going to be canceled, mostly because it's convenient for them. Both teams are already in the playoffs. One of them is a division leader. And so they're just not going to replay the game. The playoffs are coming up. The machine cannot stop. And so why the hell not, right? So Brian, do you agree with my assessment that the defense they're using, the narrative they've come up with is what I call the lightning bolt defense, which is this is as rare as getting struck by lightning. You know, the fact that you get hit in the right spot at the right time.
I think it's more rare than getting struck by lightning.
I think so too. And let's talk about that just for a second, which is they're basically saying it's so rare that it'll never happen again. Don't ever worry about it.
Right, which is a problem when so here's the NFL's problem.
Yeah.
Going forward. With one question, is this game too dangerous? Which I've already heard a couple times.
Right. Well,
money says no.
Yeah, the money says no. Of course it's not. And we've made leaps and bounds with safety things. And even though the Will Smith movie came out and the micro concussions are going to keep happening. So the longer you play, the longer, the higher chances of you losing it and going mad.
Right.
Which used to be called punch drunk. It was a boxer's thing, right? Boxers, if you get hit enough, boxers eventually the brain gets jostled enough to where they suffer brain damage. And that happens.
Yeah, but the point of it is so we've heard these quotes, CNN doctors, Fox doctors, MSNBC or whatever, come on to say, it must be this, it must be this.
Right.
No, we have not had anything from, quote, the NFL.
Right. No, officially they cannot.
We have not had anything from the doctors that have actually touched the patient.
No. And let's be realistic here for anyone that's even remotely thinking about following this narrative. If it is true that a garden variety hit to the chest on a full-grown man wearing pads can stop his heart to the point of death, even if it was only 1 in a million, the game wouldn't exist. NFL would not exist because come on, do the math. There are millions of hits every freaking year. And that's just in the pro level, not to mention college and high school and all this. We would have seen this.
Think of it this way. Look at NASCAR is a good example.
Right.
Okay. The evolution of NASCAR, every time there's been a bad accident or anything else, they implement extra safety measures. I mean, contrary to popular belief, NASCAR has a speed limit on each one of their tracks.
Sure.
They so fast, and cars have to be so much safety equipment and every freaking thing else and all that. And they have to do that. There's not much more you can do with the game of football unless you switch it to flag football. I don't know.
Right. No, yeah. All they really did in the end was they protected the receivers from being blindsided. Right. You can't lead, and helmet to helmet contact. And now, come on, let's face it. There's the quarterbacks are worth so much money that you can't really touch them. You can't, even if you have a clear shot at him, you have to show leniency. So if you're a 340-pound lineman, you're coming up on the guy, you can't crush him. You crush him, you could get thrown forever. And they know that. Because they're the marquee players. There's only so many quarterbacks in the league, and you can't lose them. You lose your quarterback, you're done. Your team's done, and you've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars. Anyway, short version, forget about the lightning defense. Lightning defense going forward, here's the problem, and then we'll wrap this up, which is the lightning defense says it was like a bolt of lightning. It's never going to happen again. Okay. You can roll those dice, but if it does happen again, you're screwed.
Which is what they're worried about because you got the playoffs and the Super Bowl coming up. And if this happened, if lightning shot happens one more time, especially in the same season.
Right. Even if it happens during warm-ups, the cameras are all out there. Now, of course, this happened. The reason why this is such a big deal right now is because this happened absolutely at the worst media moment ever. Short of the playoffs of the Super Bowl, whereas the cameras are literally, it's not like if he was a random guy going down the field, right? That just fell over. The cameras were on him specifically for this play. So yeah. we will see what happens moving forward. I feel bad for the NFL players that were standing around just scared out of their minds because again, they watch YouTube. They know what's going on. So a lot of these guys know what the hell. There's some of our people in the NFL. I guarantee it.
Oh, by the way, I want to criticize one thing too.
What?
And I'm going to criticize this.
What?
Because I watched the ambulance go in to get the guy.
Yeah.
As it backed up slowly on the field to get the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next time, drive forward as fast as you can. Do a donut, spin around, and get the guy and get him out of there. What the hell is a slow backup for?
Yeah. Good point.
You don't want to hurt the grass?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm sorry.
I know. Maybe they were trying to, I don't know, who knows? Maybe they were trying to downplay whatever it was, but they couldn't downplay the emotions. The problem they had was because it worked against them, which was the cameras were all on the players. The players were horrified out of their minds to where they didn't want to play anymore. And the cameras caught all of that. So anyway, so Clown Worlds, let's transition because we have a couple non-football related Clown Worlds. The first is from which one? Not the skip one. Oh no, sorry. We gotta. You know what? It's sorry. Let's talk about this other thing really quick because you're gonna hear some of this we'll go through these really fast. Which is it's like, well, other people have died, with hits to the chest. It's like, yeah, let's look at them real fast. First one is a 13-year-old baseball player dies by being struck by a pitched ball in the chest. And this was in 2010, 12 years ago, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, he died. Next one down. This one's from South Coast Today. This was in 1999. 13-year-old gets hit in the chest with a baseball, dies. Guys, starting to see the pattern here. Next one down. There's only a couple more. Third one down is 2013. San Diego teen, 16-year-old, gets hit with a softball in the chest during gym, dies. And last but not least, is it the
boy,
the young kid? Yeah, 2002, 7-year-old. Nader Partman, probably not the best athlete in the world. Baseball in his own front yard, ball hits him in the chest, dies. What do all these things have in common? Well, it was blunt force trauma to the chest. Yes, getting hit with an underdeveloped heart, heart that's still growing in the chest. Small child at the wrong time. Medical treatment not immediately available as it is, with an NFL field, but they're trying to throw that out there in the mix.
Which is BS because two things. First of all, baseball, softball travel faster than a giant helmet.
Right.
Second of all, the impact force of a baseball or softball, as far as the size, pressure per square inch with that size, is much more than a helmet rolling off your chest.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys want to get all biblical, do you remember how they used to kill people in public squares back in the day? They stoned them. They threw rocks at them.
And I'm for bringing that back for the record.
There you go. You died from blunt force trauma. It's awful.
Ugh,
okay.
That sounds awful.
Okay. Clown Worlds. Transition over to Clown Worlds from blunt force trauma to Clown Worlds.
Alrighty.
So this first one's from Business Insider. Let's do this really fast. And I'm not making this stuff up. Wonderful graphics, by the way, for this.
Stellar.
The Earth's great. The astronauts top rate. There's no GPS on the moon. NASA and the European Space Agency have to fix that before the humans return in 2 years. And this was just written during New Year's. Okay, first, we're not going anywhere in 2 years. It is not gonna happen. No.
Don't think so?
No.
Second, how in the world are you going to install GPS on the moon before the moon people even get there? You're going to do that remotely? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to set up some geostationary things around the moon on the dark side? Is that what you're going to do? No. Whatever. Yeah, that's the first piece of BS space crap I can deal with today. Next one.
By the way, before you get off that, just so people know about the GPS.
Yeah.
The one that circles supposedly the Earth.
Yeah.
Because for record, You know, those things are all done by time, right? They transmit the times and it calculates the difference in the times.
Sure.
Right. Those have to make sure they're updated from an Earth station to make sure.
There you go.
Just saying.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The next one down is a YouTube video I want to mention real fast. Karen wants to pull up on the screen without sound because we don't really want to hear the song. This is the United States Space Force anthem. Now, Brian wants to mention that that it's not a Space Force song. You know, if it's a military branch, it's not necessarily an anthem. But this is not even a real anthem. It's a made up anthem because the real anthem that they put out was so crappy that this group called Voices of Freedom Music decided to do their own thing. And I just wanted to read the lyrics really fast to this song, if I can. And I'm not going to sing it, but I just want to get this out to you, right? And they're pitching this to Space Force to get this made the official song of Space Force. Ready? To the moon, to Mars, into space far beyond. The future of our country lies in the stars. We march onwards. Deep into the darkest night, we shall bear a torch of light. We defy the abyss with all of our might. We fight. We are the United States Space Force. We fly upwards, blast through the void, and we rise into space, fighting for freedom. All of mankind looks to our people to safeguard the peace in the search for salvation. We search to be defenders of Earth. We swear to be defenders of Earth. We are the United States Space Force. We march onwards. And then the last section. The future of our great nation lies in our determination to triumph with glory into the stars. We march onwards. Not a foe, nor any terror, not an alien invader shall hinder our destiny to go forth. We fight. We are the United States Space Force.
Oh my God.
And
I think I just threw up. Okay.
I know, right? Vomit. That's what I was just thinking.
I'm going to say this. I say this every time, so I'm going to say it again. Nobody in Space Force goes to frickin' space.
I know. They don't carry guns. They're not the Space Marines from Aliens. They are not the
Starship Troopers.
Not Starship Troopers, even though this song could have absolutely been put into Starship Troopers.
It would have been good for that.
This is not that. These guys, so if you guys want to check it out, the song seriously is on YouTube. It's called the United States Space Force Anthem. And it's got graphics, the whole 9 yards. These guys made the full production. Actually, it's better. It's way better than what the actual Space Force put out.
Okay.
Oh, so terrible.
So ridiculous.
If you ask me, they should just use a Star Trek theme song and they'll be good.
They should.
Mm-hmm.
They really should. I mean, they're already stealing their logo.
Right.
Why not? Although the Star Trek theme song doesn't have lyrics.
Right, but I just want to see a bunch of people trying to play that funky instrument they used. Whatever. I can't remember the name of it, where you just put your hands around it.
Hey, all my power to these guys. Our diverse group of young Miami musicians, Voices of Freedom, they've only got 1,000 subs, has created this anthem for the United States Space Force, the 6th branch of the U.S. military.
This is 2 years old.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
It was sent to me by a listener. It happens. I get stuff sent to me all the time. Our hope is to get this song to the Pentagon and the White House for official adoption and eventually into outer space for the men and women who will serve in the far beyond. You can help us by sharing this video with members of the military, the Space Force, and leaders in government. You can also donate to our crowdfunding campaign as we intend to move to phase 2 of the project. I don't think they made it to phase 2.
Okay, I'm correcting that. The men and women sitting at their keyboards.
There you go.
Ain't going far beyond.
Yeah.
They're very
well, again,
serious.
they bought into the hype.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
they're so intensely singing about the Space Force. You could see it in their faces.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's and the song sounds like it's straight out of a movie. I mean, seriously, you could insert it into a section in the Starship Troopers and probably overlay pretty well.
Well, maybe Starship Troopers 4 or 5 because
Yeah, exactly. 4 or 5, not the old ones. Okay. Last but not least, staying with the theme of music, we're going to go to RT.com for the Clown World of the week and the first one of the new year. And then maybe we'll pick up a phone call before we go to break. Central Asian nation bans lip syncing. You'd think that would be an Onion article, right? It is not. It is Kyrgyzstan. Did I pronounce that right? Kyrgyzstan?
Yes.
Yeah. Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan has prohibited singing along pre-recorded tracks at public cultural events, said the Ministry of Culture. As of January 1st, the order was signed by the Ministry of Culture, Information, and Sport. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. The media outlets said that the document prohibits lip syncing at state culture events in theaters, cinema halls, museums, clubs, libraries, and sports venues. Also applies to mass public events. Singers must sing live during cultural events.
I got two problems.
Yes.
Who the hell singing at a library? You're supposed to be quiet.
Good, excellent point.
And number two, I'm not that against it because I always think if you're going to pay money for tickets, you ought to perform. But I know they can't.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's a tall.
Britney Spears' tours there. I got you, but still.
I don't know what set these guys off, and you know full well what they're talking about. And that is, if you do a major show and you do choreography, you can't sing your song.
No, you can't.
You can't do both. So, anyone that does a lot of dancing, Madonna, Britney Spears, I don't even know, Taylor Swift, probably, maybe I don't know what, I've never seen her show. Doesn't really matter. The point is that they're banning it. Somebody rubbed somebody the wrong way. Somebody went to a show, some politician went to a show. It's like, I didn't pay for this. I want live. I want live music.
And for the record, most times you don't want live music,
right? Unless the people are, the singers that do live are the ones that just stand in front of the microphone and freaking sing. They don't move around a lot, going all the way back. I mean, even like Elton John or Neil Diamond or
Billy Joel,
Alanis Morissette. You stand in front of the mic, you do your thing. If you're doing dancing, you're screwed. All right, yeah, that's all I got. So let's see who's on the phone. And I'm sorry, by the way, to California, who apparently has got a big weather system coming their way.
Oh, I must correct you. I know who you should pick up first.
Oh, who's the first call of the year going to be?
The first year.
Who's the first call? It's the first year? Oh, right. First call of the year. All right. Who's the first? Yeah. Who's the call I picked up in 2015? All right, we're going to do this one early, and then we'll probably go from that, maybe into break. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it from 2015 until now, 2023. Long time caller from New York.
New York. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Crazy stuff. Holy shit, that guy dying on Monday Night Football. What the hell?
Dude, he's not dead yet. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, okay. I think they're just hiding it.
He's officially not dead yet. He's on
machine. They're going to do the 6-day thing and clone him.
Well, no, I mean, he's on a machine in the hospital. I do, but nobody knows. They haven't said if you turn off the machine, does he die? Nobody's saying anything there. So,
well, I'll back Zulu on this one. Technically, if they're doing CPR, he died.
Yeah, that's true. He did die on the field.
Yeah,
good point. He was dead. So, yeah.
Now it's a playoff game, right? So didn't that matter?
No. It was no. It was the last Monday Night Football game before the playoffs. So they have one more.
Oh, so this coming week. Yeah, because it's 2 weeks later. Isn't it the middle of February now?
No, that's the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl?
So
that's
Super
what I mean. Wasn't it always like right at the end of January?
I can't remember. I have to look it up. I think it was February last year, a couple years ago. But so the playoffs start. I don't get into this. Playoffs start on the 14th. This coming Sunday is the last chance. It's the whole, one and done. You're in. You're in or out. The people that are on the cusp. But this was the last Monday Night Football game, as far as I know. But both teams, this was a playoff preview because one had already locked up their division and the other one was already in the clinched a playoff berth. So it was a high-profile game, very high-profile game.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yep.
You know, I mean, so what? Are they going to eliminate Pop Warner football too now? They're going to get rid of
No,
all this stuff?
no.
You
No,
mentioned
what you
only
didn't see.
children getting killed, not
No, what-
adults with padding getting killed.
No. What the NFL, in fact, I watched something just before I came on the show where Bob Costas went on CNN to talk to Anderson Cooper, and he was defending the NFL. You know, obviously the NFL called him and said, dude, you got to go on there and say the NFL's fine, because there were rumors swirling that the NFL was more dangerous, way more dangerous than other sports. And so Bob Costas was, you know, basically on there saying it wasn't the hit. The NFL's fine. NFL's safe. NFL is perfectly fine. It's like, yeah, but your guy died.
But if it wasn't the hit,
Yeah, if it wasn't the hit, then what was it, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So no, everyone,
so
they don't know
ridiculous.
where exactly to spin it. They were going to spin it wherever the public buys it the most. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, like the video you guys posted in the Funky Bunch, the first thing the doctor said was some bullshit about, oh, this is something heart failure, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
You fucking know because you saw a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way,
you weren't even touching the man. You didn't do anything. You did no.
real
all the
quick.
speculation,
If
all the
hitting
bullshit.
if hitting a grown man in the chest could make him, you know, immediately go down, you wouldn't even have boxing. I mean, that's half the freaking hits.
UFC. What's up with that? Right?
Yeah.
Would
I mean,
we have the UFC? Come on.
Oh, UFC.
Come on.
UFC wouldn't exist. So many things wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's again, this was what they were waiting for, and now they're trying to keep this from going, you know, the truther community just go ballistic with it. So we'll see. Again, they're holding their breath. The playoffs and the Super Bowl, that'll take 3-4 more weeks. Then we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, I'll go. I'll call you back. I do have a quick quote though.
Okay. what is
Winning
it?
doesn't always mean being first. Winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means you're doing better than you've done before. New year. Get your shit together, right?
That's good. Good. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
All right.
I'll talk to you
Have a good
later.
Talk soon.
All right.
All right. We will go to break here in just a bit. We'll say goodbye to Master Gunner for the time being. Thank you for chiming in about the football
always
stuff.
fun, man. Always fun.
Hopefully by next week we will this story will come to its conclusion one way or the other, because come on, the games are firing up on Sunday.
Yep.
So you know what they'll do, by the way. Sorry, one more thing before we go to break. They'll do that, that minute of silence. Every freaking stadium will do it. Every single one.
They'll wear some patch or something. Or
Yeah. They're probably racing to do that right now for something for his charity.
Yeah.
Probably right now.
Well, by the way, his charity's gotten $5 million from GoFundMe.
I know. Amazing it got like $3,000 before the game, right? After the game, $5 million.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You'll have a good show.
We're gonna go to our second. Thank you, Brian. We're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we'll take some more phone calls. The phone number to call in, by the way, is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. And Karen, let us go to the second music.
Support local flat earthers. Grounded extracts. Like a plug into an outlet, nature is a key into the mind. Once there, it can clean out old chemical leftovers and nourish the mind and body. Life is regained. The road becomes joyful as clarity and self-awareness return. Herbs, roots, algae, and fungi have helped many of us heal. move closer to our goals, and gain control of true priorities over carnal desires. Join us in leaving the chemical, material world and enter into the natural realm, from farm to farm. These finest creations are handmade and are more potent than anything your corner co-op has to offer. Our products, excluding our tinctures, are made to order to assure freshness and maximum effectiveness, fusing together healing herbs with tasty counterparts to bring out full potentials. There is so much joy in working with the natural world given to us by our Creator. Let's take part.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B. Hey, Karen, I forgot a meetup.
Oops.
It was Brian Staveley's on top of it.
Right, Brian's having a meetup.
Oh, did you announce it?
No.
Oh.
Because
well,
you just started talking and you skipped the meetup part, I think.
No, well, I mean, I did the Oklahoma one. And then, I wasn't looking at my channel. So there is a Flat Earth meetup in South Carolina, January 15th. The promo for it is on my channel. And Brian Staveley said in it, he says, is hosting a meetup, Greenville, South Carolina, Sunday, January 15th at 5 p.m. at the City Tavern. located, Karen has like multiple tabs there, at 128 North Main Street. Christian Knapp, Dr. Law, Tommy, that flat fellow, and others are you going?
No.
Really? Were you too good for him? You got to that level now where it's
Well,
like,
I
oh,
mean,
this.
I shouldn't say no. I should say I don't know yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know yet. But I think he wants to do another one in Florida like the week after, and that one I won't be at, but maybe that's fine.
Karen told me she wasn't going to go because she said it feel like she was slumming.
Shut up,
So-
Mark.
No, what? Take it as you see fit. Anyway, Tommy the Flat Fellow, they'll also attend. Also karaoke later in the night. Please email Brian at ricefoot@gmail if you plan on attending. Why Ricefoot? Do I even want to know?
Because he's
There's
a quarter Japanese.
I was about to say it sounds vaguely racist. So okay. he's a quarter Japanese.
Yes. You'd
I
never
didn't know that.
I know, because you can't tell by looking at him. He looks like just
No.
a normal white boy.
No, he looks like just some guy from Jersey,
He's Boston.
from Boston.
Yeah.
But he looks Jersey. Anyway, so yeah, there's a meetup there, and I'm sorry, I will announce that at the beginning of the show next week as well. Okay, that being said, the phone number is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480, and you're never going to believe this. Phone lines are open right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so
I
we're
thought
going to
I saw a bunch of calls on there. Where'd everybody go?
I don't know what the hell happened. Did something happen tonight?
I have
Peanut,
no
look at the
idea.
news. Anything new? Peanut's shaking his head. Nope. Nope, nothing's happening. Okay, guys, if you are a longtime listener, you know what? I'm going to read an email while I'm waiting for calls to come in. Because I got an email just as we were doing the show, and it is called Antarctica Rocks. Mark, this is my first time writing to you, and I don't watch or listen to your program too often. And so maybe you have already covered what I'm about to say. If so, then my apologies. As someone who believes that the world is flat, I thought it'd be a fun idea to see if I could buy a rock from Antarctica. I never thought of that. It would be a fun souvenir to have a piece of the edge of the world, well, kind of, on display as a talking point in my home. I learned that it is very hard to find rocks from Antarctica. It is far, far easier to buy a meteorite, and I find that very strange. Good point, David Weiss. I hope you're listening. I even learned that it is illegal to take rocks from Antarctica. I wasn't willing to even spend more than $100 anyway. Well, it's probably going to cost you more than that. So I thought, well, you have a large audience. Have you ever thought about crowdfunding to have someone take a trip to Antarctica with a high-powered telescope camera to perhaps climb a small mountain and take a few pictures and maybe grab a few rocks? I wonder if you can sneak rocks off.
I don't know. Do they check your pockets?
I don't know. That's a great question. If you could find 100 or 200 people to willing to chip in to have someone take a trip and take some pictures and maybe get donors a small rock, then I would definitely be on board. Blah, blah, blah. I think it'd be a cool idea. I don't want to suggest anyone do something illegal, but what is the harm in a few pebbles? Isn't that how it all starts? Right?
Mhm.
It's like, what's the harm? What's the harm? Anyway, this is from a girl named Shauna. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. I don't think it's rambling. It's no one's ever asked me that. It's like, yeah. Does anybody have any rocks from Antarctica that you can actually guarantee were Antarctica? You know, where you have a picture taken with the rock, even a little one.
I have not actually seen
Somebody should see if they could get. Peanut says, grab a penguin, and the rocks all melted. That's for Karen, by the way.
Oh God.
They're all melted rocks. There are no rocks in Antarctica. It's all just melted slag.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think we can pull off an Antarctic rock. Although that is very interesting, by the way, that you can't take rocks off Antarctica. Any rocks. Why? Because nobody owns the rights to those rocks. I mean, I'd almost go. I'd take the tourist trip to Antarctica just if I could sneak off a couple pounds.
Well, why? Yeah, why wouldn't you be able to take any rocks at all? Like, is Antarctica going to be hurt by you taking a couple of rocks?
Exactly. Well, the environmental agency. I mean, there are beaches here, even on this island, where you're not supposed to take rocks off the beach. But I think
There's
I
beaches
think
like
that's
that.
more just so that landscaping companies don't come in there and start grabbing
Yeah,
huge things of
yeah,
rock.
yeah, exactly.
You're
Like
not going to
Pebble
get thrown
Beach
in
and
the.
stuff, they tell you not to take the pebbles, but people do.
Peanut says ancient viruses. Maybe. Anyway, all right. So that was my fun little email I got during the break. Yes, we're going to grab a phone call. Let's grab one from 301. 301, you're on the air. 2023. What's happening?
Mark, Happy New Year, Mark and Karen. My third time calling. I love calling you guys. I can't believe the phone lines were open this time.
Yeah. Well, beginning of the
But
year, who
you guys
knows
are
what people
awesome.
doing?
So,
yeah,
I had the movie The Christmas Story. I love a quote there, except I changed it a little bit.
What?
During his little soap going blind dream, he goes, "It was climate change that killed him." From the football thing.
Nice. No, honestly, I would have been better if you would have gone with the original. It was
so hard in the arm.
So poisoning. Yeah.
Or he got hit so hard in that arm where he got something put in there that it knocked a clot loose.
Well, no, I've read that in a bunch of different forums where they said something just got knocked loose, and that was it. He got up and his heart caught it. But
apparently, it doesn't take much of somebody to turn on a 5G tower.
I only have 3 words for anyone that wants to label me on this, and that is safe and effective. Yeah.
Oh, and Mark, don't get Karen started on melted rocks again. I don't need to hear that again.
No, it's melted buildings. If anyone wants to tick Karen off,
melted buildings, whatever.
Melted.
Yeah, they don't want you to take the pebbles because they might be pieces of melted bricks. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't. No, honestly, no one's. It's weird. Out of all the emails I've gotten over the years, no one's actually even suggested bringing back a rock from Antarctica. I mean, there's tons of them, as you know.
That's pretty cool.
Although most of the time, you are not on the beach. Only dignitaries go to the beach. You're in the snow where there is no rocks. So
maybe they don't want you to take rocks because if you take some weight off of there and bring it back to the middle of the globe, you're going to throw off the spin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of spin, my brain always goes with flat Earth stuff because that's where I am.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. The Earth, according to the globe model, spins 360 degrees every 24 hours, minus a half a second or something stupid.
Yeah.
So if we're on one side in the globe and we spin 360 degrees every 24 hours, when we are on the opposite side 180 days later, 360 degrees, 24 hours, why aren't we facing space? Does that make sense? Or you're thinking about that?
It does, but it's that 3-dimensional thinking which I don't like. Because then I have to do the model in space.
The way they want us to think that,
No, I've heard this argument a few times, by the way, where people say that they've whipped up computer models and they say it doesn't make sense. I think there's some math wrong. I don't know what. Oh, Karen's got some.
There's some magic. There's some magic math in there.
Yeah. No, I got you. If anyone out there is listening, please chime in. Anyway, what else you got?
Hey, thank you. Nothing. That's it. I just wanted to call in, say Happy New Year, and
Happy New Year.
Hope to see you guys one of these days up here in Maryland. You never know. Maybe they'll do something in Pennsylvania somewhere where I can get up there and go to one of these meetups. I got to load the app on my phone so I can see who's around.
Oh yeah, well definitely up in Maryland, and there's a whole bunch of people on the East Coast. So
apparently, I've seen that on David's videos and shows and that. I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot of people up here.
David, who is this David you speak of?
That David W. Flat Earth David guy thing. Yeah, something about an app.
It sounds familiar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I got his email. Maybe I'll email him.
Okay. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
Have a good one. Yep. Let's go to possibly Ray Romano's brother and or cousin. What's happening?
Hey, Mark. Hey, Karen B. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Hey,
Year.
this is Brave Vermont's brother again, but I'm not going to rant tonight. I'm not going to rant. Not doing it.
Okay.
So I just wanted to, I'm not going to do that. Hey, that guy that just called, he brought up something I wanted to talk to you about a while ago. Actually, the Earth spinning 180 degrees. I saw a meme somewhere when I was watching one of Karen B's videos. There was a meme on there, and it showed the sun in the center, and it showed that if the Earth was spinning, and this is like if we are on a globe, and after, like he said, 180 days, we would be facing, it'd basically be dark at noon. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
If we were really on a globe, we would have darkness, like I would say, at least half the year at noon, because we'd be facing the opposite way. So my question, I mean, whatever, you can look at the meme if you can find it. I can't find that meme, and I was actually going to ask you, where do you get your memes? Where do you find them? Because there's nothing on Google anymore, and anytime I type anything, it's always taking me to some debunking site where it's trying to debunk flat Earth. So I cannot find any memes anymore.
Are you talking about Karen's memes or my slideshows for my stuff?
Yeah, I mean, on that video, the video I was watching was where she was on, like, I think it was like the Australian 60 Minutes or something, and the woman was trying to, like, make her look nuts because she believed in flat Earth, and I'm like,
the BBC interview.
She had a whole bunch of memes posted. And I don't know where you get them. Where do you find them all?
Well,
even on Flat Earth Clues, there was a ton of memes that I saw. It's like, where do you get all these? They're so good.
I wish I could saved them over the years. We just
exactly. You save them. I've just collected them. A lot of my, David Weiss sent me pretty much everything from his coffee table book project years ago, and I used those for like the first 50 or 60 slides that I use. So if anybody wants the memes, they can't find them online. You can email me and I'll send you the file of, I'll forward it. I'll throw it.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that one right there was the one I really like, because to me it absolutely proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that, I mean, or like that guy was saying, the Earth spins in 24 hours. If you're at noon and you're facing the sun at, say, June 21st,
yeah,
180 degrees later, the Earth is still spinning the same speed. Now you're around the other side of the sun. You're facing away from the sun, without a doubt. So, I mean, and I first saw that on that meme, and I was like, oh, man, I got to find that. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I actually wanted to call you guys, like, I don't know, a month ago, probably, and see where,
I appreciate
if you knew where to find that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that you get it. But you got to remember, the general population can't model things in their head like you realized that a light bulb came on. You're like, oh yeah, I totally get it. The general population, though, I'm not talking about the listeners of this show. You all guys are all wonderful, insightful, brilliant people. But the rest of them are knuckle draggers. They're mouth breathers, troglodytes.
Well, yeah, well, okay. And then so on that point, I just wanted to say, I looked it up. There's only been one other NFL player to ever die on the field, and that was back in 1971. I believe his name was Chuck Hughes. He was a receiver for Detroit. He died on the field. He had a blood clot dislodged, and he had a heart attack on the field. That was the only other NFL player to ever die on the field.
Huh.
So it's not a very common occurrence, and you're talking, like you said, millions of hits every year. Millions. I mean, I don't know about that. There's got to be millions.
millions of hits.
At least hundreds of thousands, right? So,
all
that is when they go on the news and they say, okay, this wasn't the vax, it's going to cement it in the knuckle draggers' minds, as you put it, that it's just like 9/11. Those buildings fell because of fire. So now they're going to believe, oh, no, it can't be the vax. It can't be that.
Right.
That's all it takes.
I mean, the people
that cemented in their brain.
The people that don't want to, denial is still the human being's most powerful and knee-jerk response, which is, the people that don't want to believe it, they're not going to believe it. And so whatever the media feeds them to make them calm down, that's what they'll be fine with it. However, again, you can only use this excuse once, and then you better hold your breath and hope it doesn't happen again. Because if it happens again, then there's nothing you can do, because the public says, yeah, you already said it wasn't going to happen again. And then it happened again. And again, then remember these.
But they're getting to the point now.
Yeah.
There's so much censorship now, though, that it's getting to the point where if you even question the official narrative, I mean, I don't know how far along we are here yet. Let's say like Australia and New Zealand. It's going to get so bad that once it's put on the media, that's it. You're not going to be able to question it, or you are insane, and they will put you in a mental institute. And it's coming. I mean, they're pushing that. So
don't give completely.
I hope it doesn't happen. But
no, I don't think it will. The human spirit is still very, very resilient, and there's a lot of people out there that don't. We've woken a lot of people up already, and they're quiet, but in their they're still questioning a lot of stuff. So don't think that it's going to turn into a totalitarian system, overnight. It's not. There'll be a lot of resistance. It's my hope anyway. Hence the name of the show, Hope. So, anything else?
No, that's all.
All right.
Thanks for having the call. Hey, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Cannabis Doctor. Or Dr. Cannabis. Dr. Cannabis. I think that sounds better. I think that's what he told me, Dr. Cannabis. So, shout out, bro. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
All right. See you, man.
Later.
Let's see. Oh boy, do we pick up? Let's pick up Canada because they're long distance. But after that, there's a name unavailable call and location unavailable. Normally, I'd blame the agency for that one, but we'll wait. But I will pick up that 297 area code. I swear I will. After this one, 604 up in beautiful Canada, which is between Mordor and Narnia.
Yeah, well, I haven't had a good Christmas. My husband's in the hospital. I can't get into him. I have to do legal stuff, and we got COVID for Christmas. Isn't that nice?
The bigger question, and I'm not trying to be critical at the beginning of the new year, but why do you think you have COVID? Because you took a test?
Yeah, I did the antigen test.
Does it feel sort of like the flu?
It knocked me on my butt, and I couldn't really do much.
You can swear on this show. We're not on Disney Plus or anything.
Okay. And I just didn't feel right, but it wasn't horrific for me, but I had alternative meds here and I took them, not so much for my husband. It was really bad. The firemen were here for almost 12 hours because the ambulance, we were the first live transport for them for the whole day, so every place they went it was DOA, and we were one of 4 in my townhouse row that got shit kicked over Christmas. I had 2 hallucinating neighbors because they got shot up. Of course, we're not, right? No. Now I can't get into the frickin' hospital because my stepdaughter went and revealed my status, and now I've got to do all this legal stuff. And shout out to Stan for who are helping me. And I'm not doing so great right now.
Sorry. That sounds horrible.
Shout out to the firemen who are absolutely wonderful. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break down.
That's okay. It's all right. What's wait? How long has it been since you saw your husband?
I saw him once in 11 days because I got past the Gestapo over Christmas, and but it was just a fluke. But now, of course, it's all draconian down there. I can probably get in the hospital because I've got requisitions for other things, but I don't know. It's going to get messy. It's going to get ugly, and his whole family has been boosted 4 times. His great-grandchild is having migraines, and my family, which is only cousins left, my cousin-in-law is on our side, but all the rest it's really hard. I got a few friends, and and I'm negative. I beat the shit out of it with ivermectin, right? So
Sure. What
but
it and while your husband's there, is he being pressured at all to get shots? Do you know? Do you get to talk to him?
they're not talking to me now, huh?
I mean, is it not that you? I mean, yes, I understand the visiting rights thing, but have you talked to him on the phone?
Yeah, but he sounds really out of it. And they lost his hearing aid, so it makes it really difficult. I'm trying to chase that down, and yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
So I'm just kind of hanging this thread, yeah. So,
well, again, it's. I still, I'm still a big believer that you're better off, that you've stayed strong on this in terms of, you haven't gotten the shot.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't.
Good.
And I won't. And,
Good, don't.
He's wavering, and I know he's going to get pressure. I don't know if they've done it or not. I can't even get any information out, and now the stepdaughter thing, I'm yelling and swearing. I'm not yelling and swearing. I'm just like trying to find out what's happening, what's the protocol, what's going to do that. Nothing. You think they would with a wife, but I guess I've been labeled black sheep now or something. I don't know, and I'm going to have to fight.
So you're being denied access mostly because of your shot status?
Yep, it's gross, and it's against the law. There's no legislation. This is just a hospital policy. Yet people can waltz in there with requisitions, or if they're sick, they can waltz in there, walk around, and they could be even bad. Like the virus can tell the difference between somebody who's a visitor and somebody who's in there for a requisition or whatever. Well, what's the friggin' difference? There's no difference.
Right.
It's just it's gross. It's absolutely gross. And it's hard. It's almost like they want to push you to lose it so they can charge you with whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, don't start setting any fires. Even though I'm a big fan of fire, don't do it. It may be tempting, but again,
I don't. Actually, I'm tempted to take a cop down with me and all my documents and stuff, and then get a ride in a cop car down there.
You could.
So,
I mean,
I was thinking.
That'd be pretty resourceful.
I'm actually thinking that the hospital sent somebody because I was down there, and I won't admit to anything because I think somebody was sent to check me out or something because they were sitting in a vehicle there with the lights on and the car running, and I went out there and I said, well, what are you doing here? You're in a private property and stuff. And, I'm seeing some, and I was, fishy as hell. So I just phoned the cops, and then he took off. So I don't know, I think I might have been spied on because I did attempt to go down there today, so creepy.
All right.
Anyway, I'm trying to keep it all together, but
keep trying to call him. If you get a chance, keep us posted. Email me, let me know, how it's going, and because I'm curious to see where the lines are drawn up there. Because you're in Canada, and the rules are slightly different than what they are down here.
Yeah, well, apparently the next step is notice of liability and threatening with small claims court and following through with it. So it's all to do with the legislation, and these two ladies know all about it and stuff, and they've won a lot, and I'm really counting on them, but they're in Ontario, so it's all got to be done over the computer. So
okay.
Yeah,
well, we've got to go to our final break, so I got to say goodbye to you. But stay in touch, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you, and a shout out to all of you, and Happy New Year and stuff, and don't get COVID for Christmas like we do.
Yeah, definitely don't. All right. Yeah. You stay strong, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to go to our final break, and when we come back, we will take your phone calls, 848-222-2480, 848-222-2480, and when we come back, we'll pick up 402 and 297, and we'll see who's after that.
Yeah.
So, Karen, that music, please.
Mm-hmm.
Delta 9. Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
Shh, they might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B. And Peanut Gallery sitting back there smoking a cigarette. Maybe. I can't tell. He's about 1 inch big on my screen. Nope, he's got a cigarette out now. Yep, there it is. There it is. All right. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. And the lucky call from Aruba? Yeah, sure. Let's pick it up. 297. Had I known you were from calling long distance, I probably would have picked you up sooner. What's happening, Aruba?
Hey, what's up? Nice,
Hey.
nice hamburger commercial.
Thank you. Thank you. I shot that when I was out at the conference a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. How are you, Karen?
Great. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, I was wondering, did you guys ever seen a map of Antarctica with a bunch of like kings, queens, prince and princesses?
No, send it to me if you got it.
Named after cities?
I've seen various maps of Antarctica, and I've seen some without the snow. I've seen some with certain city names, but I haven't seen what you might be describing. Where'd you find it? Have you seen it? Do you have proof of this? Tell me. I need to know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a video. I'm gonna send it to you. I'll send you. I think you've asked me already. I'll send it to you tonight for sure.
Yeah, please. I'd love to see it.
It's an old map I found off of Marketplace on Facebook on the island, and I didn't realize it until a couple of like a year later that I saw like all like kings, queens, prince, and princesses. Like the bloodlines lived there.
Sure.
Before they removed every one of them from the map, right?
Yeah. I'd love to see some of that.
Yeah, and one more question: if one of you two knows about have y'all heard from like Jarl Landahoy, right?
No, well, I know
yeah.
who Jarl Jarl Landahoy is. I first heard of him through Matt Powerland.
Oh, okay. Oh, he spoke about him. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. He was like one of the first guys to speak about him.
Okay, did you see his documentary?
No.
Okay, so he went to the North Pole and he crossed above Canada, and he reached up to a degree. I'm not sure which one it is, but he reached a grave that he was the third person there in the North Pole. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. It's kind of weird though. Supposedly he was only the third person that ever reached there. And then he went down to the South Pole, and I'm not sure if you've heard that part of him, where he went to.
Yeah.
I think it was McMurdo's.
Yeah, he got.
I think it was
he got in a lot of
Sorry,
trouble.
go ahead.
He got in a lot of trouble for trying to do some Antarctica stuff.
Yeah. So he was gonna. They were like five. They were five, right? And there was the kid with him and him that took off from McMurdo Station to supposedly reach the south of the South Pole. Mind you, this guy is not a globe earther. It's not a flat earther, right? He's just traveling, and he wanted to plant the no, it's not the Sweden flag, right? The Norwegian flag down at the South Pole.
Sure.
I think it was his second time. And when he went to plant it, three of his crew members supposedly sunk the ship like exactly 33 miles north from McMurdo Station. And they all died. And they destroyed the ship called the Berserk, his yacht, his sailing yacht, right? And he went back. They took him to court. I think he was jailed for 2 years. Either that or he was charged 2,000 kroning, something like that. Kroningen.
I don't think he was jailed for 2 years, but I know they fined him. I mean, if you believe the story. Anyone that wants to look it up, by the way, how do you spell that? Peanut, how do you spell Jarl Lando?
It's YARRLE.
Yeah.
Space ANDHOY.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone wants to look it up,
so yeah.
Cool.
Correct. So the interesting part was that he was getting so famous in Norwegian because of his crazy adventures that he did, that the TV station started like putting his shows on TV, right? And he was getting popular, and they literally give him another ship, which was called I forgot the name right now, but they gave him the ship. And after the whole morning was over with the kid also, because they lost 3 crew members, it took them a couple of years to go back, but they gave him a ship, and he went back down south just to pay his tributes to his lost crew and try to investigate the sunken ship.
Mm-hmm.
And he did something different this time, that that I suspect that he think that the military got to these people and basically killed them. It's because he removed the EPIRB and the AIS system from the ship before he went back down south.
Yeah, that would
So
tend to get you in
he,
some. Yeah, that would be a
so
problem
that's
if they ever found you.
yeah.
Cool.
So he removed it from this. Oh, I think this ship was called Nilaya. Nilaya. You can look it up.
All
And
right.
the guy's still alive, and he's open to speak. So I've messaged him once. He didn't. He answered back. The kid also answered back, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else can try to reach them. Both of them are still alive. Still alive. Yarlando has a whiskey now. He's selling whiskey like a drink, right? And the kid is very famous and popular also in Norwegian. So, aside from that, there's this Australian TV crew of 8 that also supposedly disappeared there. Do you guys know of any other people that went down there and is documented or something like that they got lost or either died or killed or whatever?
I do not know anyone else that went down there, got lost. Very, very few groups at all even made attempts from our neck of the woods.
Yeah. The last thing the last thing I know is that Alex Jones wanted to go there, and I believe that was the reason that they wanted to financially drain him. And
or it could have been the brutal divorce of his wife. That could have also played a factor into it. So unfortunately, I can't put too much stock into the Alex Jones side of things since,
of course.
But as far as financially draining him, sure. But the government didn't need to do anything special there. I mean, he all it was a run of the mill divorce in the end that hit him harder than anything. Anyway, any shout outs before I let you go, because we're winding up the show here pretty soon?
No, not really, because I don't think anybody from Aruba is listening here, but it's awesome always to call. I call rarely, and keep up the good work.
Thanks.
And the festivals.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, have a good one in Aruba. By the way, what time zone are you in Aruba?
-4. It's 12:40 right now.
Hour ahead of me.
Gotcha. All right, man. Have a good one. Talk soon.
Hey, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Let's go to pick a couple more before we can do 2 more at least. Let's do 402. Are you still there with us? 402. Are you listening?
Hello.
Yeah. Your phone. Yeah, your phone was muted, wasn't it?
No.
You are a man of few words, which is really tough to do on a radio show. So what do you got?
Well, if I'm speaking to you, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If the Earth spins, how does it turn the sun off so it's dark in the universe so we can see the stars?
Well, the thought behind that is, I got you. The thought behind that is that because space is a vacuum, again, I'm speaking if it was a globe and if the heliocentric model was right, if the solar system was real, then space, because there's nothing in it, no molecules to reflect light back off of it, which is different from our atmosphere, which is full of all sorts of different gases.
Right.
Then the sunlight would just go off into
nothing. My question just proves that the heliocentric model is nonsense.
Well,
because you cannot turn the sun off ever. Even if we're on the dark side of the Earth, the whole universe should still be lit up to where you never see the sun.
No, they'll just say no because there's no particles in space.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you got to remember, science tries to explain that by saying that because there's no particles out in space, there's nothing for the sun to reflect off of. So when you're looking off, when the sun disappears on the other side of the globe, it's, there's nothing, it's not backlighting anything or front lighting anything.
The heliocentric theory is not science. It's a satanic lie.
I'm with
Agree
you.
with
man.
you.
I totally.
100%.
The only way that you could see the stars, this is what puts the final nail in the coffin. It only works on a geocentric system where the sun fades into the distance like a set of headlights does. You see it, or the glow on the horizon, and all of a sudden you see the headlight. And when it passes by you, it's super bright. The sun works the same way. So therefore, there is no heliocentric model.
Yep.
That's all I'm trying to point.
Yep.
So you can just put that to rest and forget about that heliocentric satanic lie.
Hey, I love your conviction.
I'm just trying to point something out that will cure everybody's problem.
All right.
We live on a flat earth where the sun
man.
fades out.
That's wonderful. Before I let you go, how long you been listening to the show?
Oh God, who knows? A long time, years.
All right. Well, that would be true because we are now working on, as of right now, in April it'll be year 8. So.
Yeah, I've been a flat earther for a long time, but I just know for a fact it don't matter if you're on the dark side of the earth. The sun never turns off, so therefore you cannot see the stars in the heliocentric model ever.
Right. Cool, man.
So
Thank you.
I'm just trying to point out to everybody out there that we live on a geocentric system where the sun fades out.
All right.
It's the only way it gets dark.
Groovy,
the only
man.
way it can get dark is see the lights.
Thank you. Hey, you have a good rest of your evening, and appreciate you listening to the show, okay?
You bet. All right. We'll see you later, Mark, Karen.
All right. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye-bye. Again, appreciate the conviction. Not sure if I agree completely with the background logic, but
No,
it's good.
Well, because
I know where he's
does the sun ever turn off in the flat Earth? The sun doesn't turn off no matter what.
No, the sun doesn't turn off in a flat Earth either. It just goes away, and that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
but
I don't know why.
I think he's going along with the atmosphere side. You know how light when there's when particles are in the air, you can light it when the sun sets. It's still lit, right? The sun is still there's still light sky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's twilight and there's dusk. There's dusk and dawn.
I get it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Whatever. It's fine. Hey, he's already there. I don't have to worry about that guy.
There's no measurable curvature and the Earth isn't moving.
Yeah. I just for the heck of it, just because I get notices all the time before I pick up our last call. I was listening because I wanted to see if he was still doing it. And he is. And I know that not everyone gets along with Nathan Oakley, but my God, he tortures globalists. I know he goes after some of our own people too. And it's not great, obviously. And I haven't listened to some of that, and I'm not going to choose sides because I have no idea what he's saying, but I listened to just a generic thing that he was doing today.
They declared war on me one time.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. He still thinks I'm quote unquote aces, but that's just because I have nothing to fight with the guy about. But listening to him, he's got the he brings in globalists, and he just either doing pre-records or where they send him pre-recorded responses, and he just tortures people on a regular basis every week. I know there's friendly fire in there somewhere, but I still got to give credit where credit is due, and it's like he still hammers on globalists.
Hey man, I don't knock him for doing what he's doing when he's going head to head with globalists. I just don't like it when he starts to turn it on us.
Yeah, I know.
And
a part of me
that
thinks again that's
ridiculous.
the board army syndrome, where you don't have enough targets, which is why. And I wasn't kidding. I don't know if you heard me say this when I was at your conference, which was the biggest problem that we've had over the last 4 or 5 years is that our trolls aren't big enough. to devote to where the trolls aren't big enough to where they catch everybody's attention to we can have a concentrated enemy, a common foe. And because we don't, I mean, seriously, Simon, Dan, and Professor Dave, that's it. That's the best you guys got. I mean, if even one of even a B-list or a C-list celeb decide to go after us, and I'm not saying it have to be Joe Rogan or Neil Tyson or any of those guys, but if anyone, I mean, it drew our attention. Again, it's the Ronald Reagan speech. The infight didn't be over.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody with passion, somebody be like, I hate flat earthers. Here's why. You know, and somebody that would get on mainstream and go after us and, you know, do a regular podcast. I'm not saying Bill Burr should do it because I like Bill Burr as a comedian.
Oh, God. You like Bill Burr?
I do. You know why? I know he's not for everybody, and I know some women don't really think he's not Andrew Tate, for God's sakes. He's not that hateable. It's because
Andrew Tate. I don't even know enough about Andrew Tate.
Bill Burr did something in comedy which I never really saw anybody do, which was he embraced the horror of the darkness. Meaning, you know, when comedians are up there, they don't see the audience. It's generally just black, right? It's a spotlight on them. You don't see anything. And when a joke bombs, you've got this horrible, you know, that silence that's out there, this void. And he turned it on him, which he learned. He turned it into an art form, and I respected that. He'd come after him. It's like, you know, why is it so quiet? What did I just say that turned you guys off? And he would throw it back at him until they finally responded. Why don't you like him?
Because he attacks Flat Earth relentlessly. He's a total.
I know. I've listened to that.
Status
but
douche.
That's just a knee-jerk response. I think he can be turned. I think eventually
really?
he can be turned. I do. I have faith. I do.
I don't know.
I think. Look, we've turned all sorts of fun people that I didn't think was possible. But I have faith that a guy like that might be open to it eventually, unless he's just a stubborn Irish guy that eventually we have to kill. I don't know.
I personally don't care.
Yeah. Well, we have. Tell you what, I will take one more phone call, and then we'll pick up 845 just to wrap it up. Anybody else out there? Last chance to call in. First show of the year. We'll give you a couple minutes. 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. We picked up everybody else.
Yeah, everybody in chat agrees that Bill Burr's massive sellout, and he sucks.
I like his technique. I've always liked. I've never seen a comedian so comfortable with a joke that falls flat to where he does it deliberately to let the audience go silent, and then he comes at him. I just respect that. I mean, I'm a big fan of old style comedians, and over the years, I have seen who handles hecklers better than others, and who handles crowd control. And I just always enjoyed what he. It evolved over time to where now he's just this bitter, angry middle-aged Irishman up there. That's like, do not mess with the guy. But yeah, I know he doesn't like us. I think I reached out. I think I sent him an email once.
You did?
I did. Why? Just to see if he wanted to, just talk.
And did he? I guess you didn't get a response.
I didn't. But we'll see. Again, Hope, the name of the episode. All right. No, Peanut. I did not ask him out on a date. I just respect his craft. That's all.
Well, whatever. Bill Burr, if you're listening, you should come talk to us.
You should.
Not that I really want to.
Again,
I want to talk to Tom Green. Tom Green was going off about Flat Earth on Twitter for a while, and he's a troll. He's a professional troll. It's like what he does.
Peanut, have you reached out to Tom Green?
I think it would be great.
Yeah, Peanut reached out to Tom Green. So, all right. Well, we'll see. We should get somebody on though. That I wonder if Eddie Griffin would be good. You think Eddie Griffin would be good?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's with us.
Why can't we get more famous flat earthers to come talk to us?
It's tough to get famous flat earthers to talk. It's because it's always this wink and a nod, and flat earthers are, at that certain level, they're like, oh yeah, I'm in flat, but we're not gonna, they're not gonna risk it entirely. Eddie Griffin, I don't think cares anymore. He just drinks whiskey and does podcasts.
I think it's cool to be a flat earther now. I think it's okay.
I think it is too.
I think there's enough flat earthers out there now that you guys, it's okay for you to come talk to us at this point.
All right, I'm going to do something bold. Here. The guy I would like to talk to, even though he's not that famous, but in the YouTube circles he is. Peanut, see if you can just take a stab at this. See if you can track down Rich Evans from Red Letter Media. He's the smartest guy of the bunch on that trio. I bought their merch. I sent him one of my books at one time.
What is
because
Red Letter Media?
He because there was this line where they were giving him crap during a show where they were telling Rich, the two of them were going, hey, it's like, you want to tell people how you're a flat earther? He's like, look, I'm just saying there's some things about it. It's like, I know that line. That's how it starts. And that was several years ago. So I'd love to talk to Rich Evans. I think he's a good guy. All right, let's pick up 845. I'm not going to sing again. We're just going to bring you in for the heck of it. So there it goes. The first show of 2023. How do you think it went?
Woohoo. I didn't cuss anybody out this year.
No, so far. Zulu, turn on. You got to hit mute, man. Zulu. I can't. You're not waiting for me to say truth smacks.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
Good
No. I was
Lord, really?
getting to the phone.
You're gonna do a rookie move in 23? What are you doing?
Hey, it's a rookie mistake. Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Hate to fucking see it.
Yep.
It was a good show. It was a really good show. Some interesting calls. I think he's, even if, like you said, the sun doesn't turn off, so it wouldn't matter whether it's the ball or that. I believe that.
That's true.
And I believe the time of noon is relative to our position of that object in the sky. So even if it was a ball and we were on the other side, I think the only difference would be, like Karen pointed out in the video years ago, is we should see different stars at night. I don't think the time of day would change.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we should see a different sky.
Right.
We should be seeing a different sky anyway. It's just lazy.
Yeah,
it's lazy.
yeah.
I shouldn't say, you know what? I'm not criticizing. I don't want to get hammered. It's not lazy engineering. I think it's deliberately lazy engineering so that we figure stuff like that out. I think it's breadcrumbs. I think there's been all sorts of little clues.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just like Kennedy. So we talk about it for 100 fucking years. Who killed Kennedy? Who killed Kennedy?
There you
Whatever.
go. Who built the pyramids?
And right. Yeah, that's
or I should say, who
And then they
financed them?
reveal who
Been
killed Kennedy
interesting
after
lately.
everybody already figured out who
Right.
killed Kennedy.
Right.
The
I mean,
CIA, what is this to mean? The CIA came up with the word conspiracy theory when JFK was killed, and then it turns out they were the ones who killed JFK.
Yeah.
When I finish repairing my time machine, I am not going to. Candy is not even in my top 10 as far as things I'm going to check out. It's going to be other things.
Aren't you supposed to go back and kill Hitler? Right? Isn't that the thing? Fucking stupid.
It's why does everybody keep asking me that? It's like, why? It turned out fine in the end.
I know. Hey, I got a couple things real quick. The guy who played Hawkeye, Renner, he's in the hospital.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting to hear the details on that.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
I saw that when we were looking at articles that it said he was in stable but critical condition.
Yeah, I think he was helping. I think he was up in the freaking Tahoe, probably has a place up there. He was helping clear out somebody's driveway, and I'm pretty sure a professional snowplow ran into his truck. I think that's what happened, and clipped him, and he had to go to the hospital and have multiple surgeries.
Fucked him up, I guess.
Yeah,
fucked them up.
Yeah, but I don't think they're releasing all the details because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lawsuit before this one's over. If you get hit by like a state snowplow, I think you're gonna
no more Hawkeye.
Reporting a crash involving a snowcat.
Yeah, I think he had a truck with a thing on it. I think he was doing a good deed and doing stuff, and you know how the guys that drive the snowcats are. It's like just lock themselves in. It's like, somebody's in the way, snow everywhere, visibility down to nothing. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah. I just,
come on. Let's face it. If he was Thor, there wouldn't be a problem. But he was Hawkeye. So
right.
Yeah, softer target.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and then here, the History Channel, season 10, episode 1 says they found a civilization on the moon. So this is going to be an interesting story they're going to spread. And I wanted to ask you, what's the deal with Andrew Tate being arrested for human trafficking?
No, I'll explain that after we're done because Peanut's saying we're going to wrap up.
Yeah,
the
I
show.
was like, what the fuck is that shit? That would.
Hey, by the way, my final thing before I let you go. Do you have a quote? By the way, you already gave a quote.
Yeah.
I have one. My final thing. A recap from last week, real fast, with the Jack Ryan thing. Something that occurred to me, and that is the biggest plot hole in Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan was that Jack Ryan was even a CIA agent to begin with. Because remember, he was such a freaking Boy Scout. And it was like, oh no, the CIA should never break the law or do anything unethical. And it's like, wait, what are you even doing in that agency? That's what they do.
Yeah, what are you here? Why
are you even here? And you made deputy director? Bull. Yeah, no way. That's the most unbelievable part of it all. That, and Harrison Ford sold that so well. It's like, we should do the right thing. It's like, it's the CIA. You don't do the right thing. You just do things for whatever
they're
reason.
They're making Harrison Ford Red Hulk.
There you go.
He's going to be Thunderbolt Ross.
There you go. All right. With that, we will come back. Same time, same flat channel next week. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
And Peanut just waves through the smoke. And let's fire up that music, shall we? First show of the year done.
Another one in the bag.
388 weeks. Good night, everybody. Hot sex. 23.
Yeah, hot sex.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us once again for Strange World. And thank you for the super chats from...
Recording stopped.
I think that was Renee Calusea. Renee gave a super chat. Thanks, Renee. And
yeah, Renee down Southern California.
Yeah, he's awesome. And... Chris on Rockfin, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, there he left. All right. Thanks everybody once again for joining us, and we'll be back again here next week. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right. Well, I'll see you when I see ya.